Alright, this is a Grid Legends online multiplayer review. The good, the bad, and the ugly. The game's been out for 1 week at this point, and while it has some great features and some fun racing, there's some issues with this game online, just like any racing game does at launch. But I just want to point out the obvious. I just want to point out the good, the bad, and the ugly, just in case you're still on the fence about buying this. So let's get into it. So since this is the good and the bad and the ugly, we will start off with the good news and end with the bad and then the ugly. Good news is this game, Grid Legends, has a hop-in feature, and that is awesome. That is the coolest feature I've ever seen in a racing game, where you are in the search menu and it says that there's a race in progress. Well, you click on the race that you want to join, you take over an AI spot, and in practice I thought, this might be decent, but all week long, if there's races in progress, and more than likely they are, you can just hop right in. Now, if the race is on the last lap, you have to wait, but still, if it's a 3-lap race and they're still on the first or second lap, you can hop in and not have to wait. I love that feature. The hop-in feature is amazing. If this was the amazing, the good, the bad, and the ugly, this would be in the amazing column, but this hop-in feature is really good. I love it. The racing itself is a lot of fun. I think the cars do feel good, and I know there's a split decision on that where people are saying that the cars feel floaty or they feel twitchy. I think the twitchiness has gone way down since 2019, and I don't think the cars feel floaty at all. I think on pad, especially, that the cars still feel really good. The racing is fun. The curbs can bite you on the ass a little bit, but they are curbs, so just stay off of them, especially if it's raining. And yeah, the racing itself is a lot of fun. Another good thing about online multiplayer in Grid Legends is the host can create races fast and move the action along quickly. They can also turn off upgrades, mechanics, and rewinds. Now this is really good because a lot of people can just, I'll get into it, the bad and the ugly later, because a lot of people can exploit things online, and if the host is paying attention, they can turn these options off. And also if the host is paying attention, they can pick races and tracks and get things lined up really quickly, so your downtime between races will be like 15 to 30 seconds. It's really nice. Speaking of setting up the lobby and races, randomizing the races is fast and easy. There's a random button, and I really like that, where you can just randomize any track, any car setup, and then just hit go. I think that is a lot of fun. It keeps things interesting. I did join a lobby yesterday, actually, where somebody just kept picking the same car and the same track. I raced it twice. It came up a third time, and I just left. So if you're a host, make sure you're doing the right thing. Change it up a little bit. Don't keep the same 3-lap race going on. And if you want, boosts and ramps are genuinely fun. I really think it adds a different dynamic to the racing. Especially if you have the stadium trucks, you gotta have the ramps. It's fun. Yes, you can bypass those. You can drive around them. The ramps are optional during the race. But I think it's a pretty neat feature, and the boosts are really cool for electric racing. So give that a shot. Try it in your races. Those are the good things about online multiplayer on Grid Legends. Alright, moving along, let's get to the bad things of online. There's no punishment for bad driving. And there's no system involved, there's no point system, there's no rewards for good driving, there's nothing to promote good driving, so everyone just drives like shit, and a lot of people do it. I want to say 90% of my experience involves terrible wrecks, and I've seen cleaner Wreckfest lobbies, I've seen cleaner Forza Motorsport 7 lobbies, and I don't know what kind of, I don't know who imported all these terrible drivers into Grid Legends, but a lot of people are just terrible at driving. So, and the host cannot kick drivers from lobbies. It's another bad thing. You cannot kick drivers from lobbies. There's a block system. You can block people. I'm not entirely sure if that blocks them from the lobby that you're in. I haven't tried that yet, but as of right now, there's no like kick or vote to kick system within lobbies. At the end of the race, here's another bad thing. There's no replays. There's no replays for content creation reasons. There's no replays for just looking to see how a wreck was caused, or look to see how, just if you're proud of an overtake. There's no replay system after online racing, which I think needs to be in there, because it's always good. It's always good to go back and look at what happened in the previous race. Another bad thing about Grid Legends Online is relying on others to create lobbies. There's no hopper system in place, so if you're not confident enough to host a lobby, and a lot of people aren't, because I see like the same names hosting lobbies, and I've hosted a couple lobbies, you're just relying on others to run the thing. And if the host leaves, and the other person who is now the new host doesn't realize it, people will just sit there for a long time waiting for the host to do something or anything, and then everyone backs out and goes into another lobby. So yeah, that could be, if there was a hopper system in place, I think it may be maybe like just a couple of hoppers. Keep it mostly host based, but if there was a couple of lobbies server wise that were on constant rotation, or maybe like touring cars that rotated every week, or GT cars, that would be pretty good. That'd be a good upgrade. Sometimes after a race, the lobby doesn't go anywhere and you can't continue or exit. I know this could be a bug that could possibly be patched. This is a cross-play game after all. But sometimes the game will just sit there for 7-10 minutes before anything moves on. And most of the time, I won't be patient enough to do that. I'll just close the game, reboot the game, and then join a different lobby. So yeah, it's kind of a weird bug where things just sit idle and nothing happens. It has happened to me 3 or 4 times. And another bad thing is some drivers can get massive damage on their car, yet maintain an excellent pace, all while shoving 90 tons of sparks and smoke into the track and blinding everybody. I know this is due to the damage being visual only, but this makes anyone behind the driver completely blind. They can't see anything behind, and they can't see anything in front of them if they are stuck behind this driver. And while it's cool that this driver appears to have a ton of damage, they're still keeping up with the pace, so nobody can get past them. And more than likely, there's a reason why they have all that damage, because they're terrible drivers, so they will block and defend anyways, and then they're putting up an entire Zarbama of smoke in the air, and you can't see anything. So if you want to keep the smoke and the sparks in the game, at least scale back the smoke a little bit, or have an option to make it more transparent, because it is really, really bad to see around somebody if they are 100% visual damage. Now, that's it for the bad. Now we're on to the ugly, and this is some of the stuff that is breaking the game online, and when this happens to me, I just back out, because all fun is ruined, and it just pisses me off to no end. Okay, so number one on the ugly side is drivers abusing the rewind feature after smashing into others. I have seen this countless times, where if they do have the rewind feature available on the race itself, I've seen people just straight up ram into others and cause a massive wreck, and then just press Y to just bloop back 2 seconds and get right back into the race. So the person who did the ramming is destroying other people's races, hitting this rewind feature, or the button, and then just getting right back on the grid and going like nothing happened. And I've seen that being abused, and I don't know what they could do to rectify that, but it needs to be fixed. And one more thing on the ugly side, and this rule right here, or this mechanic, really is a problem, and it needs to be addressed as soon as possible. And I know it has been, I know it's being looked at, but still, it looks as if some of the drivers can use their upgraded cars against drivers with no upgrades on their cars, and it kills the fun. There's no point in having your car that has 300 horsepower try to beat others that have, like, I don't know what the basis is, but just 50% more power than yours. So hopefully, I know this can be turned off by the host, but I don't know if it actually works, because anytime I've hosted a lobby, I've turned this off and I haven't seen a problem. But anytime I join somebody else's lobby, there's always cars that are upgraded and way faster than everybody. And I'm not talking about just 1 or 2 seconds. I'm talking about, I was in 4th place in a race yesterday, and I was looking good, right? I could not catch up to the top 3 because they had upgrades turned on, and the host allowed it. So there's got to be a way to just eliminate that, because people that are bad hosts, they're not paying attention to that, and they don't turn it off, which is ruining the racing. It makes it an unlevel playing field, and this isn't for just multi-class racing either. This is for, like, if you just had touring cars or Mini Coopers or something racing against each other, and all of a sudden, I can't catch up because I don't have enough power. I have the skill, but I don't have enough power, and it really kills the fun of the game, and I back out immediately and do something else because it's annoying as hell. So, yeah, I think that should be just completely removed from the game. Don't even make it optional. Another thing, just real quick, that needs to be taken out of the game is if you upgrade your car, you can't take the upgrades off. So be warned, if you upgrade your car, you can't back down from those upgrades. It stays like that the entire time. And I really hope they change that, they patch that to where that is removed from Grid Legends. But that's it. What are your thoughts online? What are your thoughts on the game in general? And I'll see you next time. Have a good day. Bye-bye.